Okay, so let's talk about my bully. We all have bullies, and this is a true story about my bully. His name was Manny, a 15-year-old. He was this very large Irish-Italian kid with a rat's tail. Kind of a dirtbag in some people's eyes. Ripped jeans, grungy looking. All the kids feared Manny. Now he lived only a few blocks from my house across the horses field. Unfortunately, since he was so close, he was out for me all the time. Manny lived with his father, who was not the nicest guy, a bit of a drunk and unemployed all the time. Now, Manny had an entourage, followers, kids that were outcasts that he adopted to his circle, helped him hold down his victims who beat the crap out of him. Now, of course, we told the teachers, and teachers were never helpful at all. They get the worst advice. And, well, as for me, I was this kid who was just turning 13. Big, thick glasses and braces, messy hair. Artsy, strange, yes, quoting movies all the time, mostly Star Wars. I was a nerd with no doubt. Here's an actual picture, so you can get a better idea of who I was at that age. Now, every day after school, for about a year and a half, Manny would find me and, the punches will begin. And this became routine for all the kids, especially me. Now, my father would say, "Boys will be boys. As long as no one's really hurt and nothing is broken, everything is fine." I guess that's sound advice. If I asked my dad to get involved, of course, my mom would intervene because apparently my dad and Manny's father, well, they had a history and they didn't like each other very much. Like father and son, I guess. My dad said, "You have to learn to stand up for your own battles." Well, that day was finally here. The day of reckoning was here. Literally. It happened on the bus. An ambulance passes by and Manny started instigating a verbal comment, making me feel really uncomfortable. My stomach, well, it began to turn because I knew what was coming next. Manny started jumping seat to seat until he's finally next to me, punching me in the sides. I tried really hard to fight back at first, but I couldn't, so I curled up into a ball as tears started running down my face. The bus driver was screaming, "Stop! Manny, what's wrong with you?" And the kids were screaming in the background, but Manny didn't care at all. From a distance, I could see my house, and there was a sign of relief. I felt a little better. Unfortunately, Manny said, "You're not going anywhere. You're not going home." Something happened. Something snapped within inside of me. I don't know what it was. I had courage. It was because he was taking away the one place that I felt safe. Home. So I started swinging like a madman because I wanted to get out of there. My fists were flying. I actually punched Manny right in the neck and then in the lips. It showed I didn't know how to fight, but that's alright. Then, of course, through my madness, I punched a bus driver in the face. Sorry. When I got home, I was a wreck. My mom said she was proud of me for standing up to the bully. Thanks, Mom. But my dad, unfortunately, my dad was more annoyed than proud. My mom wanted to call the police. My dad said, "No. Through chaos comes order." See, we had a rule in our neighborhood. Anything happens between a neighbor, you take care of it yourself. Now, I received 3 days suspension, being my first suspension and last. Manny received 5 days suspension. Well, this was not his first, and it won't be his last. Before he knew it, I was back on the bus. The bus driver said, "Hey, great job standing up for yourself, but try to get better aim next time." And of course, all the kids were gossiping and saying crazy things because, well, that's what kids do. My favorite one was the bus driver's dead. A couple days later, I'm in the lunchroom and I see Manny. And I notice he had this giant bruise on his face. I'm thinking, oh my God, did I do that? I was like, wow, I'm powerful. And I started to smile. I didn't realize I was smiling at him. And he said to me, "You're dead." Oh boy, I was scared. Trepidation took over. I didn't know what to do. So of course I asked the teacher for help. They were no help. Of course I heard from some kid that Manny was gonna ambush me in the horses field. Beware. Thanks a lot. So I went to another teacher and he said, "Just ignore him. You're a nice guy. Don't get involved in that stuff." Don't get involved? What? Ignore his fists? Seriously, worst advice ever. God, the teachers suck sometimes. Then it hit me. I didn't give him those bruises. How can I? Look at my small fists. Well, then who did? Let me think about this. Manny would never punch me in the face, but why? What is he afraid of? Getting in trouble? He doesn't care about that. Manny won't punch me in the face because... Holy cow! Alright, I get it now. I know what must be done. I have to do the one thing I'm really good at, taking a beating. So I decided to go to the horses field and face my bully. It was the scariest moment. I actually walked to the horses field thinking, what's going to happen to me? What am I going to look like? But I must face my bully. So from the school to the horses field, what felt like miles, I walked alone, like I was facing an execution. And there was Manny, standing there with his entourage. He was surprised to see me, definitely. Unfortunately, it didn't stop the beatings, and they happened. I stood up and I started to fight back. It didn't really help much, and his friends would hold me down at some points. But I kept fighting. Left and right, I kept swinging. I knew I was out of my league. Manny was way too big. He's older and stronger, but I kept going. Towards the end, I was this bloody mess. Scratches on my face and everywhere, punched in the stomach. I was in a lot of pain. I got up one more time. My heart was racing, muddy tears running down my face. I took off my glasses, the one thing he was avoiding, and snapped them into two, while looking him straight in the eyes. I actually saw fear in his eyes. Fear of the one person that will have to pay for those glasses. The fear of the person that is going to make his life miserable. The person who gave him the actual bruises. His father. When I got home, I was a mess. My mom, though, was a lot worse when she saw me. And my dad saw my broken glasses. Well, let's just say this is where the order came. My father took me in one hand and the glasses in the other, and we walked through the horses field to Manny's house. And my father saw blood on the trail of the horses field, and he was pissed. Finally, when we got there, he started beating the crap out of Manny's father, demanding payment for the glasses, slamming him into the pavement. There was no contest. It was like the Hulk taking on a garden gnome. The results were not good for Manny's father. The crowd came all around from the neighborhood, watching. And I felt bad because I didn't realize how much Manny's father was hated. They were screaming profanity towards Manny's father. I felt bad because I became the bully. I realized that Manny had a bully, and it was his father. This is why he was the way he was. I actually started feeling remorse for Manny. Finally, it was over. It was a week later and things were back to normal. All the crazy rumors started dying down and Manny finally shows up to school. He looked horrible. He had bruises like I'd never seen before. He didn't even look at me, or talk to me, or try to get me. In fact, he didn't touch any of the kids anymore. His entire entourage petered out, and Manny transferred to another school. And that was the end of my bully. Let's jump ahead. I was working in a restaurant, no longer a wimpy kid. Came back from college. It was quiet that day, but all of a sudden, this guy walks in, and he ordered a sandwich. I didn't place him at first, but then I realized, oh my god, this clean-cut guy is actually Manny. He looked great. He didn't look like a dirtbag. He looked like someone who took care of himself. And he actually said, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I was shocked. This guy's never been nice to me. So it was an awkward conversation after I got his sandwich, and I said, yeah, things are good. How you doing? He says, good. Cool. That was it. It was the weirdest thing. But I felt a feeling that Manny was trying to make amends. That was the last time I've ever saw him. Years later, I heard that, well, he actually became a cop. Scary, I know, but maybe he was trying to be a better person. And unfortunately, I heard shortly after, he shot himself with his own gun. Manny died. Alone. No family. Nobody. Manny was a troubled kid, but he tried to make amends, but his demons were too dark. They say that people who hate suffer the most. I guess that's true. So I wonder, who was in more pain? After all this time, was it the person being bullied? Or was it the bully himself. In this case, I think it was Manny who suffered the most. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. This was a story from my past. I was happy to share with you, and I hope you learned something from it, because you know what? I learned from it. If you have a story you want to share with me, I'll be happy to turn it into a whiteboard animation, especially stories about bullying. The purpose of this channel is to share our lessons in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's important. So please subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear what you would have done. What do you think was right, what was wrong? This is a new channel, and if you can give it all support, that'd be great. Like it. There's more videos coming in the future, and if you can, please pass this video along. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great day. And remember, a lesson learned is a good lesson. Thanks again, guys.